I've got unmute. Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar today, how to optimize reporting for Business Central. It's actually part of a series that we're doing. Today's part one, part two is next week, which we're going to delve into budgeting and forecasting for Business Central. Okay, so just some introductions. My name, for those that don't know me that are on the call today, my name is Rebecca Gatehouse. I've been with Professional Advantage for just over 15 years, just had my anniversary the other day. And during that time and before that, been working with organisations to essentially use technology to perform better and make better decisions. And that's why I'm really passionate about reporting and budgeting forecasting technologies like Solver that we're talking about today, because they really do impact the decisions that our clients make. So very passionate about that. Joining me today, so I have two guests joining me today. We've got Abdullah from Professional Advantage. Abdullah is one of our senior business intelligence consultant. He has extensive background in both business intelligence, reporting and planning technologies, and he's going to be showing us Solver today. And an extra special guest speaker today is Mike Kimbrough from Solver, and Mike's actually the Managing Director of Solver in the APAC region, and he's got extensive background and really good expertise in essentially all that you're trying to achieve, assuming you've joined today in order to look at better ways of reporting and making decisions. And Mike's really an expert and really understands all that you're trying to achieve and how we can go about enabling better decisions in your reporting and planning today. So Mike's actually going to do an overview of Solver today, and I think who better than Mike himself. So moving on to our agenda for today. So Mike's going to jump on and do the introduction to Solver and also talk about Quick Start for Business Central. So because you all use Business Central, Solver is integrated and has this great Quick Start integration, get you up and running quickly and get you into using some of the template reports. So Mike's going to talk about that a bit further for you and give you that overview. And then Abdullah's actually going to jump on and show you Solver. So I'm sure you're all very keen to have a look at that. He's going to look at reporting, so some standard reports that you would design and use, ad hoc reporting, which is really important to have that tool for the finance team and others to be able to quickly look at data that in a way that they might have a structured report for, how we can distribute our reports to other users and to other people in our organisation automatically. Importantly, designing, how do we design reports in Solver? And I personally like Solver because I know a lot of the people on the call today are from finance. You've got really exceptional Excel skills, and Solver sort of takes advantage of those skills from a designing perspective. So we'll have a quick look at that and some of the quick start reports, which Mike's going to introduce you to. Abdullah's going to show you some of those reports. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Mike, who's going to give us an overview of Solver and then talk about its Business Central relationship.
First of all, welcome everyone. As Rebecca said, I'm Mike Kimbrough. I'm the Managing Director for Solver Asia Pacific, and I would like to first thank everybody for attending today's session. There's a lot of good content today, and looking forward to seeing Abdullah show the Solver product as well. So just a real quick overview of really who Solver is, and then I will get right into the heart of things, talking a little bit about the Solver Quick Start and the Solver Marketplace, and then I'm going to turn it over to Abdullah. Just a little bit about the history of Solver. We've been in business now for going on 27 years. Throughout this time, we've built industry-leading CPM solutions, or that CPM, corporate performance management, really talks about advanced reporting, budgeting, and forecasting. So we've built award-winning products. We've had a number of different recognitions over the years. Some of those you would know, the Gartner Magic Quadrant, G2, et cetera. But probably the biggest thing that most people would be interested in would be the Microsoft preferred status. So if you went out to Microsoft App Source, you would find that Solver is the Microsoft preferred solution for D365 Business Central. And in fact, about 2 years ago, Solver entered into an agreement with Microsoft to co-develop the Solver application specifically for D365. So there is, in part of this relationship is the Quick Start, which I'll be talking about here shortly, but there are a lot of other great things that are on the roadmap that are coming over the next several months. So with that, let's talk a little bit about, and get the slide to change, about the Quick Start program. So Quick Start essentially is exactly what it says. It's Quick Start. It's quick time to value. It does in a few hours what previously took days to do. So when you talk about taking Business Central and integrating that data into a reporting solution, it can happen within just a few hours. So you see here that Quick Start is represented above the Business Central, and this is really a high-level architecture of kind of the way Solver as a solution works. So we can take that Business Central data and information into the pre-built Solver data warehouse in a very, very short period of time. So that's really accessing all of that ERP data, bringing in and making it available for reporting in a very, very short time frame. It also allows for you, you can bring in external data sources. They wouldn't be part of the Quick Start. This would just be a normal data integration process. So if you wanted to bring in other data sources across your enterprise, whether they're on-premise or whether those data sources are in the cloud, really you can bring everything into the Solver environment. And that makes it a true enterprise reporting solution, okay? So once that data is all inside the Solver data warehouse, our reporting tool sits on top of that data warehouse. So you can build any type of report that you like, whether it's financial, operational, statistical, as long as you have the data inside this data warehouse and you can dream it up, you can build any type of report that you'd like. The next step is our planning tool. So we're not going to be talking a lot about planning today, but just so that everyone understands, it's part of the Solver suite. The planning tool, if you were going in to do a budget or a forecast, there's an unlimited number of budget versions that you can store. Whenever you're contributing to a budget, that data is stored into the data warehouse. So contribution into a template into the data warehouse, and then it's immediately available for reporting. So if you wanted to compare actuals versus budget or forecast, that's very, very simple to do within the Solver environment. The next part of the solution is the Power BI dashboards. So Solver has an integration to Power BI. So that takes all of that data that you've collected across your enterprise and you've contributed to through the planning process and makes that data available to Power BI as well. So that's a Microsoft certified integration that really gives you the ability to address the specific needs of the users across the organization. So if somebody wants formatted reporting and another person would like a dashboard, you have the ability to deliver that specifically to them. So on the right-hand side, you'll notice that we talk about the template marketplace. So I'm gonna switch over to our website. So you can go out to the Solver website, and I encourage everyone to do this. You can go into solverglobal.com, you'll see solutions here, and there's the template marketplace. So that's where I am now. You'll notice at the top that it says discover 500 additional Solver examples. These are examples of reports that we've built historically that are not part of the Solver marketplace. Everything that you see in here is part of the Solver marketplace, which means if you run the Quick Start program, all of these reports and budget templates and dashboards will work for you out of the box. So today there's about 80 different what we call assets, so reports, budget templates, and dashboards, but this is growing. If you fast forward a year from now, there's literally going to be hundreds of different assets available to you. So you can peruse through here and you can go down and say, well, you can see that there's dashboards and there's reports all in here. If you wanted to just take a look at kind of some, what's on offer from Solver, you can do that. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit further. So if I were to open up a dashboard, for example, I can just get an idea what this dashboard is all about. I can kind of peruse through the different dashboards that are available. You'll see that there's reports. So if I were wanted to look at a different type of report, all of these are out of the box. Now keep in mind, you can customize these reports, you can build your own reports, but these are available to you at no charge as part of the Quick Start program, okay? And then last, you'll notice that we have budget templates as well. So here's a good example of a pre-built budget template that's available for you immediately once you run through the Quick Start application, okay? Oops. So I think I went one too many there. So just recapping on the Quick Start, this is a wizard-driven application, so it will bring all of that Business Central data into the Solver data warehouse in hours, not days. When you're in the Solver application, and this is actually the menu for the Solver application, you'll notice that once you run through Quick Start, that the template marketplace is invoked, and then all of the reports that I just showed you and growing will be available for you out of the box. So if I wanted to run this R010 trial balance, I would just click this and say add to install, and within a matter of a few seconds, that report would be available for me to run on all of my data across Business Central, okay? And dashboards work exactly the same way as well as budget templates. And then the last component, again, is just highlighting all the different assets that are available to you. And I'll reiterate this again, if you fast forward a year from now, you're probably going to see hundreds of different examples of different budgets, forecasts, reports, and dashboards, okay? So the last part of this presentation is what type of customers are running the Solver application. And I'll tell you that we have more than 3,000 customers across the globe, and these customers are really across every industry. We have customers that are not-for-profit, we have customers in healthcare, manufacturing, professional sports. Really, Solver will work across any industry. It's all about grabbing that data from that industry or from that company and bringing it into the Solver environment. So again, regardless of what industry you're in, Solver is the right solution for you. With that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Abdallah for today's presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Abdallah, I've just made you presenter. So, excellent, thank you. I can see your screen.
Thanks, Rebecca. You see my Solver screen now?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rebecca and Mike, and thanks to everyone for joining us today. My name is Abdallah Saleh. I'm working for Professional Advantage for the last 5 years, and I'm working as a business intelligence and planning expert for the last 18 years. Solver is one of my last products I've been working on. So today I'm going to present Solver from end user reporting perspective. Next week we have another webinar. We will focus on planning, and next month we have another workshop focusing on on building Quick Start, building your own report in Solver, and I encourage everyone to join that one to be interesting. Solver is multi-tenant Azure Cloud core performance solution that comes with pre-built integration to Business Central and many different ERPs. It is true web solution, so you can access Solver using your browser. You don't need to install any client or any additional tool, just your browser. You can access it anytime from anywhere. This is the main navigation part of Solver. By the way, you just need to use your email, the same account you use to access your Business Central. So I'm accessing here as an administrator, or what we call it, power user. That's why I can see all Solver functions, planning functions, integration, and data warehouse. It depends on your security or your user rights. You'd be access some of or all of these functions. To access Solver reports, you need just to click to report templates. And as you see here, I have a long list of reports. I'm not going to explain or to present all of them, but we are more than happy if you have any specific report you want to see or any specific example, we can arrange a separate session for you to show you customized report or customized demo based on your requirements. So to access any Solver report, just simply click on the report or search here by the keyword or the name of the report. Also, we have something here called categories, and categories is kind of reporting, grouping or foldering for your reports. And this is very useful when you need to organize your reports for end users. So let's say, for example, you need just to collect or to group all your financial reports in a folder or in a group, and then you would be able to assign this group to specific users. So let's say, for example, only financial users or finance team would be able to access these reports or this group, and only sales team would be able to access the sales analysis group, for example. And if you have payroll or HR reports, only payroll department would be access that report, that group. So before starting on the reports, for you as a financial controller or as a reporting manager, you might need to do some checks before starting your reporting cycle. So first one here, I have an example of the monthly financial reporting process where you can see all the steps you need to follow to complete your reporting process step by step. And for each step, we have which template or which report in Solver you need to use to complete this step, who's responsible for this step, and the due date for this step, and then the status. You can change the status of this step from here. So after reviewing this one, you can, for example, have a look in your trial balance here. This is simple trial balance built here in Solver. You go through your accounts, you make sure you have a zero total here, and if you see any interesting number, you can simply right-click and show the details of this number. I'm going to explain this in more detail shortly. Then now let's say we done our checks or our control reports. We review all control reports and we can start on our reports. I would just spend some time here on the P&L example. This example of P&L report, and in this example we have just the filters of the report entity and the period, and depends on your setup in Business Center. You might have department, you might have cost center or division, or any additional custom dimension here could be implemented as a filter. And to change the filter, just select on the search, and you can select multiple elements like this, or select the entity you need to select, and then also you can change the period from here. You can build security around these filters. Means, let's say, for example, we have multi-entity or multi-department, and you don't need to build a report for each department. So you can just have this filter and build security around the entity. Only employees or only users from this entity would be able to select this entity. And in case we have a department, so let's say you have an operation department, sales department, and we build security around these departments, and this user would be able to see only their departments and their numbers without having multiple reports. In this report, as you see here, we have the revenue or the accounts in rows and different version in columns. And when we see versions, you can have multiple, unlimited number of versions in Solver. You can have the actual version is loaded from your Business Central or whatever source system. Budget could be loaded also from your Business Central, or it could be generated here in Solver, and that's what we will discuss next week. And you can have what if scenarios, for you to do sensitivity analysis or any kind of analysis, and so on. Here we have again the accounts. You can do what we call the drill down. So we drill down from the account group to the details account, and we can have the roll up automatically here. If you see an interesting number, again, you can drill down to the details, the transactions from your source system or from your subledger, which is created or made up these numbers. Any report can be exported to Excel or PDF. You can write comments on the report. You can select one of predefined comment templates like this, or you can upload your template here from Excel and write your comment. And these comments would be saved against your selected filters. Also, you can share any report to other user, and when you share a report to other user or group of users, that user would receive a notification here like this, and will receive also email notify him or notify her that someone shared a report with her. So when you share a report to a user, that user will receive the report here as a report archive. And as a report archive or as an end user, I can access the report that shared to me, and I still can drill down, still can show the details, still can export to Excel or PDF, but I can't change the filters, for example. Also, I can create something called playlist. So let's say I'm a financial manager or CFO of organization. I'm receiving all the needed reports for my package of report. I can present these reports in something called playlist. And playlist is a PowerPoint style presentation. So I don't need to export the reports and create another PowerPoint or change the formatting. These are all my reports as the objects here. I can navigate between the reports like this. And since I'm still in Solver, as I can do my my drill through details if needed. Also, you can schedule the report distribution. Means, let's say, for example, I need to send set of reports to my division managers every month or every week, every day. Depends on your business, and you can create a job here, and in this job you just need to assign these templates or these reports and assign the users and build a schedule when these users will receive these reports, and these reports would be distributed automatically to these users on that specific schedule. All what we have seen in terms of reporting are built in Excel environment. So one of the things I like in Solver, you don't need to have really a deep technical knowledge to build reports. All what you need to do is using Excel functions, including formatting these graphs and conditional formattings. You can utilize any Excel equation or formula functions. Let me show you an example. So if you are a power user, you can edit the report in Excel environment, and Excel environment is just normal Excel, what we used to use every day, with additional Excel adding here called Solver. And here we have access to all our data models. All what we need here is drag and drop our dimensions, our master data, and then drag the value, which is the monthly amount in this case, and then use Excel to write our normal formulas here you can build the graphs, normal Excel graphs. And if you want to test the reports here in Excel, you can run it here. And if you finished your design and your reporting, simply go to Solver reporting and upload that to the Solver, to the portal. And this is would be update the version we have here in the portal, or in the portal for the end user automatically. Sometimes we need to answer specific business questions, which is not in the reports. And this is where we utilize this is nice ad hoc reporting, which is kind of on-fly self-service function. So let's say, for example, we need to do a quick analysis for our expenses by department, for example. And this is even you don't need to open Excel or to have the power user license to do that. So as we see here, we have access to all our models, and we need to, let's say, for example, we need to have the analysis by department, and we need to have entity as a filter, and we need to analyze our monthly amount. I need to filter out the, let's say, the expenses accounts. And you select the period you need to do that for. So just in few minutes, we got this breakdown. This is our department, and this is the monthly amount. And if you need to build a quick chart, so that's quickly our ad hoc report. And you can save it and open it anytime, and you can export it to Excel. So let's say you need to have one more dimension. You need to do this analysis by department and by entity. All what we need here, I need to have entity on the report. Now I have by entity and by department. I can create grouping here. So now I can drill down from entity to department, and this is my amount. If you need to build pivot, just enable this one, and this will give you like Cartesian product of the report. Again, you can save it and export it to Excel. Too much for reporting, and now let's talk about the quick start. Solver comes with pre-built integration and models for Business Central. That includes a library of reports, dashboards, and budgeting forms, as Mike mentioned. So when you implement quick start or Solver integrated with Business Central, we get access to this template marketplace. And here we have list of all pre-built assets or pre-built templates for Business Central. And all what you need is just add the selected reporting to your card. Let's say we need to install this one. We need to install the balance sheet variance, for example, and install them. Once we press install these templates, we will get them up and running in seconds. And also, we have some planning. So again, you need just to select the. I have all of them installed actually, but like reports, you need to select the template and install them. And then you can access these templates from here. So let's say, for example, the P&L variance. That's one of them. One example. You can drill down to the reports. You can still drill through to the transaction details. You can export. You can do all functions as if that's normal report built by you. And even you can edit the report. So let's say, for example, here we don't have the division or department as an entity. So you can edit the report, update the report, and upload it again. Another example, let's take the balance sheet, for example, balance sheet trend. Same idea. And if you implemented the account receivable or an account payable, you'd be able to get, for example, this. I have one here. Account receivable details, and this is kind of aging report, and we have breakdown for each customer by invoice, and all of that is pre-built for you and ready to be updated and ready to be implemented, just as a part of the Quick Start program. And next month we have a workshop focusing on this integration. We will present, or we will demonstrate in details how we build the integration. Then we will have afternoon a quick session to allow you to build by yourself this integration and to have these reports up and running by you, and maybe also you can build your own reports. So again, I encourage you to join that workshop. All what we have seen so far are solver reporting and dashboarding features, but sometimes you need to do additional analysis, like additional analytics kind of reports. And that's why Solver has a pre-built integration with the Power BI, and I'm going to show you example here. Let's switch to. So I need to switch to another tenant. So what we are seeing here is just an example of Power BI dashboard, and this is actually six different analysis dashboard built in Power BI using Solver pre-built connections, so pre-built integrator. So all the data here we have in Power BI are loaded from Solver using that pre-built integration. And this, so what we see here are example of key performance indicators for different areas such as revenue, profitability, and liquidity. And the underlying data here of all these dashboards are from actually different sources, not just Business Central. But now, because we are utilizing Solver data warehouse, we can access all the information easily in just one source of truth or one single reporting platform, which is Solver. In this example here we have, for example, the performance against budget through this red-green highlighting, and we can, if we need to do further details, we can simply jump from here to another dashboard, or even to the Solver report from Power BI, as if they are one solution together. So let's say, for example, we have here underperforming issue here with the product revenue, and we need to do a more analysis or further analysis. We'll jump to, or we will move to revenue analysis, where we have further details here in terms of revenue. We'll filter out the dashboard to the product revenue. So all the graphs, all the figures are filters to product revenue. Let's say we finish our analysis here, and we need to do more analysis in Solver. We don't need to jump to Solver screen. Just click on the on that report, sales by person, for example, and this will open Solver for us directly on that report. So we see here revenue information presented in standard columns and rows by salesperson and period. We can utilize normal Solver functionality, so we can, for example, drill down or drill through from this for this employee to the source system or to the sub ledger to see for example, the revenue or revenue transactions or sales transaction, which is made up this number. So before hand over to Rebecca, I would like to recap what I have covered. So we covered the main functionality of Solver in terms of reporting, in terms of user access and security, and we have seen the ad hoc reporting function. How can we share the users? Then how can we present the reports in terms of in forms of playlist, and also we saw the quick start assets and quick start templates, and finally we have seen the Power BI example, including the drill down or jump to Solver reports. With that, I would switch to Rebecca again to discuss your questions and next steps. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Abdullah. Really appreciate that very thorough but quick demonstration of the product, and also to Mike for the overview of Solver and also the relationship with Business Central and Microsoft. That was excellent. We do have some questions, so I don't know if you two would like to join me on video so everyone can see your good-looking faces, and we might work through the questions. That's okay. So, first one, maybe Abdullah, you can answer this one. Do I need to already have a data warehouse with Solver?
If you have already data warehouse, you can integrate Solver with this data warehouse. But if you don't have data warehouse, Solver itself is a data warehouse. It covers your data warehousing needs.
Excellent. I don't know, Mike, if you want to extend on that. But...
Yeah, I think that a lot of people that will, especially around Power BI, that will be considering a Power BI strategy, whether you have one in place or something that you're thinking about, that requires, Power BI requires a data source. So, Solver, the value of the Solver pre-built data warehouse and the Power BI integration in itself is tremendous. So, yeah, that's just one of many areas, but Solver data warehouse does a lot of things that if you built a data warehouse, typically it's more along the lines of storing data. The data warehouse that Solver has is 27 years in the making, right? So it's got a full currency engine. If you do consolidations and things of that nature, that's part of the Solver data warehouse. If you're doing eliminations, so there's just so much more in the data warehouse than just a place to store data. And on top of that, I think it's also the ease of use. So it's powerful, yet it's built to be, with self-service in mind, so that the users can go in and manage the environment as well. You don't need a long line of IT people to be able to work in the Solver data warehouse environment.
Excellent. Some great points, Abdullah and Mike. Thank you for that. Maybe, Mike, you can help me with where's the Solver cloud? Is my data in Australia?
Yes, it is. Always in Australia, stays in Australia. It's Azure, so it's right next to your Business Central application. Azure Sydney East is our primary, and then our backup is Canberra, which are both government facilities, which means they have the highest level of, ratings by Microsoft or Azure, all the extra security, et cetera.
Excellent, thank you. One more, Abdallah, maybe one for you. Can I distribute reports to non-Solver users, so people that aren't licensed for Solver?
Oh yes, you can do that actually. So you'd add these users to Solver, but of course they won't have any permissions for Solver modules. But then when you share the reports or when you distribute the publisher, you would select these users. They would receive the reports as a Excel or PDF export on their emails.
Yeah. But obviously there wouldn't be any kind of drill down or anything like that because they're not.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't kind of static report. Yeah.
Excellent. And that's quite a few. So do you need to have Power BI to use Solver?
No.
Jump on in, either of you.
No, so the value of Power BI is, like I said, most people today that we talk to have a Power BI strategy, but no, you don't need that. If you want to deliver a formatted report, that's standard with Solver. If you also want to be able to deliver that same information in more of a dashboard, non-Excel type dashboard, so really Power BI type dashboard, then you can always add it. It's a la carte, so it doesn't come included. You can add it if you like, or just use the formatted and ad hoc capabilities of Solver.
Okay, excellent. Well, I think that's the end of the questions. Thank you both. That was great. Now, all of you on the call are our clients, so you're probably very familiar with your PA client management team, so your customer success manager or your account manager. So if you, for some reason, don't know how to contact them, please feel free to reach out to me at my email address, rebecca.gatehouse@pa.com.au, or give me a shout on my mobile phone, and happy to help you in any way. As we've all mentioned throughout the session today was very much focused on reporting. And so next week we'll all be back to talk specifically about budgeting and forecasting and planning for Business Central with Solver. So that's going to be, I'm sure, of interest to many of you on the call. Now, you'll notice in the chat there's a link to that to be able to join that, but you'll also get the link in the follow-up email as well. So don't panic if you don't catch the chat while we're on the call today. But if you want to, you can jump on right now and register. Also, which Abdallah mentioned, is we're running a workshop in a few weeks' time. I can't remember exactly when it is, early June, I believe. And that is essentially, it's a full day, pretty much. So we've got sort of more of a deep dive into Solver in the morning and the quick start, and then in the afternoon you've got the ability to actually get hands-on with some demo Business Central data and have a play and do some reporting in Solver. So I think that's a unique opportunity. So really encourage you to register for that. You can register for that now as well, and I think there's a link as well, or you'll be sent a link, and the agenda and everything will be there, so you can contemplate that. But I think that's a great opportunity. So welcome as many of you as possible into that. So thank you all today for coming and giving up your time. Really appreciate it. And thanks, Mike. Thanks, Abdallah, for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Part of the show, as always. And I look forward to rejoining everyone next week. Thank you.
See ya. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye-bye.